What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the LTQ Wrestling Podcast. I am BDJ. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying your week. WWE Crown Jewel is coming up next week. Should be a great show. 4 matches confirmed so far. I'm sure a 5th match will get added. I'm recording Friday morning. Next weekend is the show. Triple H usually likes to have his 5-match minimum on premium live events, so I'm sure this one will be no different. In Australia, going to be an early start time for us here in the U.S. I believe 8 or 9 a.m. is when it starts. I don't know if I'll be able to watch it live because I work overnights and get off at 7 a.m. So maybe I can stay up to watch it. We'll see. But big show. A lot of big matches. Obviously, we got Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. We got Stephanie Victoria against Tiffany Stratton. Both those matches for the WWE Crown Jewel Championships. We have Rhea Ripley and Io Sky against Asuka and Kairi Sane. And then hopefully, which is the main event for the final time, John Cena against AJ Styles. So if you like some great wrestling, I think this show will have it. So let's get into it. So last year, we had Gunther against Cody Rhodes for the Crown Jewel Championship. Cody ended up getting the win. Him and Liv Morgan both walked away with the Crown Jewel Championships. This year, we get Cody Rhodes against Seth Rollins. Listen, such a storied history there. They had a great promo against each other on Raw, talking about, the watch and how Seth Rollins helped Cody finish his story at WrestleMania and how they respect each other. And Rollins wore the watch just for this occasion. He hasn't worn it since Cody gave it to him. But this was such an important moment. And Rollins has never beaten Cody since Cody's came back. I believe he's beaten him when Cody wasn't really a main event guy. But since he's came back, he's not gotten a win over him. I shouldn't have said never, but he's not gotten a win over him. And I think this is the time Rollins needs to get a win because Cody won the Crown Jewel title next year. Not that this title means anything. It's just kind of WWE being like, okay, let's have a champion versus champion and have something on the line, which I get that to a certain degree. I love the champion versus champion match. I've always been a fan of it. Survivor Series, they used to do it all the time. They kind of went away from that for a little bit. But this is going to be a fantastic wrestling match. These two never disappoint. Was disappointed, though, with how Drew and Cody went, but I wasn't disappointed in the work. Will somebody interfere in this match? Could Drew McIntyre come out and cost Cody? I don't think that feud's over. It's a possibility. Hopefully they lean a little bit away from Punk and Rollins. They don't have Punk come out and cost them. We'll see, though. I do think it'll end up being a clean ending. I think this will probably be maybe a 20, 25-minute match. They're going to give these guys a lot of time. These are two faces of each brand right now outside of Roman Reigns. And these two are going to tear the house down in Australia. The crowd's going to be on their feet. International crowds are always good. Australia never disappoints with their fan reactions. But I do think some shenanigans is going to happen, unfortunately. I do not see Cody losing clean. He rarely takes losses. So when he does, it's going to either be just a shocking clean loss or by interference. Becky could come out there. The Vision could come out there. None of them are on this card. Maybe, like I said, Punk interferes, even though I hope that feud takes a break. Or Drew McIntyre. One of those are an option. We'll have to see, though. I do think Seth freaking Rollins gets the win, carries that momentum he's been having. I really like the heel work he's been doing, especially against Punk. Him and Becky just make a very good, hateable couple. Just a couple you hate because they're so cocky. They have a reason to be cocky because of all the success they've had. They're both champions at the moment. Rollins' reign will end with CM Punk win the title. For Cody, I don't know who's going to beat him at this point. I thought it was going to be Drew. Maybe it still is down the line. But both these guys are champions for the long term right now, at least till WrestleMania. And I'm not mad at it. Even though Cody's reign's gotten a lot of criticism, it's still not been a bad reign, especially after Roman Reigns, even though he lost the title to Cena and won it back and everything. But I do think this will probably be outside of Styles and Cena match of the night. And we'll have to see how it goes, but I'm going Rollins for my winner. So the next match has not really had much build. Stephanie Victoria, I know I probably mispronounced that. Victoria is how I think she likes to pronounce. She doesn't really care. I heard her interviewing with Chris Van Vliet. There's so many different ways people pronounce it. I always say Stephanie Victoria, even though that's not the proper way to pronounce it. Against Tiffany Stratton, another champion versus champion match. Like I said, Liv Morgan won it last year. I think this will honestly be another good wrestling match. Tiffany Stratton's due for one. She's had a rough last couple of weeks between the moonsault botch and just that horrible triple threat between her, Jade, and Nia. She's due to have something go right for her. Does that mean she wins this? I don't know. But she needs something good to happen because it's just been a rough few weeks for Tiffany Stratton. Her title reign is just not really hit. I do think they're waiting on Bianca Belair to come back and probably dethrone her, which is the right move. Belair's dealing with that finger injury, which is a nasty injury that she suffered at Mania, I believe. But both these women can work, and Stephanie Victoria is just a fantastic worker here. And her and Io Sky had a fantastic wrestling match, probably the match of the night at WrestlePalooza. And this match will be no different. Both these women are very athletic, especially Tiffany Stratton. I think Vakir could definitely use this win a little bit more just because she just won the title. Tiffany, she retained, even though it was a botched finish. Doesn't really need a lot of momentum right now, considering how she's been. Does this win really do much for her? Debatable. So Stephanie Vakir, I definitely could see getting the win here. And I think the crowd's going to be into it. Both these women are very popular among the WWE crowd. And Stephanie Vakir, the good thing about her, though, is WWE doesn't really need to build like a rivalry for her right now because you have War Games coming up. You got this. So they can really take their time in building her up as a champion before her first official feud as champion, which is a smart move because Stephanie is one of the best and popular women on the roster right now. So continue that momentum. Maybe have her get a win against Tiffany here, be the dominant champion, win the WWE Women's Crown Jewel champion. Liv got a lot of momentum from that last year. So we'll have to see, but I do think that both these women are going to work their asses off and have a good back and forth match with Stephanie getting the win. So fourth match on the card, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky against Asuka and Kairi Sane. Now this has been a feud that Rhea Ripley's been involved in. I feel like they don't really have much for Rhea to do at the moment. So like, you know what? Let's just have her and Io Sky be a tag team. They've had the rivalry, now they're friends, and they're taking on, Asuka and Kairi, which Asuka turned her back on Io Sky on Raw. Asuka's done fantastic work. Even Kairi's been good. I know she had that injury with Liv, and everybody's blaming her, and then she had like another injury, and everybody's like, oh, Kairi's injury prone and all that, or she hurts her opponents or whatever, but that's not the case. Kairi's one of the best workers in the company. And like even Tears was saying, like he wished Kairi got a little bit more love from WWE compared to Asuka and Io Sky, just because Kairi's great. Like if she given an opportunity, I think she could be on that Io Sky level as well. Who do I see winning this match? I don't see Rhea and Io losing. I see Kairi taking the pin. Asuka, I don't really see taking the pin right now either. I feel like they're building up Io Sky and Asuka for like a WrestleMania, so they're both going to have a lot of momentum heading into that match. Rhea's not taking a pin right now. Io, it's hard to see her. So Kairi really, to me, is the only logical option right now to take a pin. Like, don't really see any interference happening. Does Rhea or Io turn on each other? I mean, it's a possibility, but I don't really see them turning either one of them heel right now with how popular they both are. Could be wrong, but I definitely see Asuka and Kairi Sane taking the loss here. There are fans out there who think, oh, Io Sky should have won the championship because her and Asuka for the WWE Women's World title won a cooked. And I'm not disagreeing, but this is a feud with so much history and so much like backstory. It doesn't really need a championship. So I really think that's why WWE went with Stephanie, just because, Vakira is new and it gives her something to build on. Like Io Sky's been champion numerous times. She doesn't need another championship right now. And her and Asuka is such a big feud, it doesn't really need the championship on the line. So that's why I think they went in that direction. And I'm not really mad at it. So the main event for the final time, AJ Styles, John Cena at Crown Jewel. This is a match I've been clamoring for. Anybody who's watched my TikToks, my YouTube shorts, they know I have been really wanting this to be one of Cena's final matches in WWE just because it's just such a historic rivalry. And the matches they had a decade ago were just so good. I think about under a decade, about 2016, 17, so about 8-9 years ago, were just spectacular. There were some of Cena's best matches, and I don't think this will be any different. Styles in an interview talking about, like, this match is going to be incredible, and he's grateful to be one of Cena's final opponents. And, before I talk about my prediction, I just want to give both these guys credit because, sometimes you don't appreciate something until it's gone. And listen, AJ Styles, he's retiring next year in 2026. He's retiring, obviously, in 2 months' time. These are two guys in the wrestling business you're never going to see again. Like, they're irreplaceable. What Styles has done for TNA, for New Japan, for Ring of Honor, for WWE, just for the wrestling business in general. He's one of the greatest in-ring performers ever. Really, you could argue the best in-ring performer of our generation, outside of Bryan Danielson. He's just one of the best ever, and there's never going to be another AJ Styles or another John Cena. Two guys who love the wrestling business. They're not just here to make money. They grew up fans of the business. They've worked their asses. I said business. They've worked their asses off to get where they're at. Cena was living in his car. Styles didn't know if he would be able to be a full-time wrestler with his wife and everything, having, being pregnant and everything. And what these two have done for the business, I could make a video 10 hours long about talking about everything both of them have accomplished. And, this hits home for me because when I first started watching wrestling back in 2008, John Cena was obviously the guy in WWE. And when I watched TNA, Styles was my favorite guy there. He just had that style. The matches were incredible. Obviously, there was a ton of good wrestlers in both companies at that time. But, Styles was just my favorite in TNA. So for both these guys to be hanging up their boots in the next year, it hits. And I just hope that Triple H allows them to go out there and really just have a fantastic wrestling match. Really just a send-off for Cena. Obviously, you got 2 more matches left after this, but, who knows if they're going to be anywhere near the level of this match, when it comes to in-ring work. But both these guys, deserve standing ovations, deserve everything they've gotten. And, Cena didn't have to do this retirement tour. He did. He's put in the work during his matches. He's worked his ass off. And AJ Styles is in some of the best shape of his career. You could argue whether he's, had some supplements or whatever. I'm not going to get any of that. But both these guys, close to 50, wrapping up their careers in the next year. It's really just, I'm hoping all you guys enjoy this match. And whether it could be the worst match you ever see, which is not going to be. AJ Styles doesn't have a bad match. And Cena's really just been cooking in the ring. But just appreciate 2 all-time greats because you're not going to see 2 professional wrestlers like AJ Styles and John Cena again. You're just not. You can say you are. It's like when LeBron and Stephen Curry retired from basketball. You're never going to see 2 athletes like them again. You could say that for AJ Styles and John Cena. But back to the match. I'm really excited for it. It's the ending of really just one of my favorite rivalries, feuds. It's like, AJ Styles was the John Cena of TNA and then John Cena's the John Cena of WWE. Both have just had fantastic runs in the promotions they were the face of. It's crazy still thinking AJ Styles has been in WWE longer than he was in TNA. It's still wild to think about that. But he's been just one of the best additions WWE's ever had. I know Vince wasn't very high on him at first, but he's made nothing but great things happen in WWE. So who do I see winning this match? It's tough, but I see John Cena winning because AJ Styles doesn't really need a win. Do I want to see AJ Styles involved in more stuff? Yes. I hope he gets a proper send-off in 2026 and just gets to face a lot of the big-time names Cena got to face because AJ Styles deserves just as big of a send-off as John Cena does. Obviously, his track record in WWE isn't what Cena's is. He hasn't been there as long. It didn't get pushed as much as Cena. But AJ Styles in 2026, give him a retirement tour. Or you don't have to call it that, but just give him what you gave Kurt Angle, where you're giving him just opponents he wants, dream matches, some of his matches from the past revisited, whatever. Just give him that because he deserves it. But I think this match is going to be just fantastic. Do I see it being better than their matches at SummerSlam or I believe Money in the Bank? Probably not because they're 10 years older. But it will be fantastic. But I see John Cena winning. I think it's going to be another Cena match where he pays tributes to a lot of opponents. I would love to see AJ Styles attempt a spiral tap in this match. I don't know if he's going to. He has said he's going to have to practice a lot if he can even do it at his age because he's a lot more heavier than he used to be as well because of obviously he's gotten older and he's, gotten buffer and everything. But that would be a cool moment to see him do that. We'll have to see if Cena maybe hits an RKO or I'm trying to think of some other, opponents he's had in the past he hasn't paid tribute with yet. But, both these guys are going to tear the house down. Can't wait to see it. So that's my predictions for WWE Crown Jewel. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Make sure to like and subscribe for more weekly WWE, AEW, TNA content. Appreciate the support as always. Peace.